There. Hey, good morning, you guys, or good afternoon. It's Misha Fayant. I am just a simple woman who got really sick, got a lot better, and went on this mission to find out why. Why was it that I had all of this stuff going on that doctors couldn't answer, and that I was struggling because nobody seemed to give me the answers, and I was tired of being gaslit. I was tired of being told that it's all my fault, and yet I was trying everything and I was doing everything that I could think of. And if that sounds like you, just put me in the comments because I know that I'm not the only one. So, look, what I found is this thing that is causing most of our disease and disorder today is called insulin resistance. And at the root of insulin resistance is a food industry that has stripped our food of things that we need so that we can deal with our food more naturally. And that is causing most all of our health issues today that are lifestyle related. So, wouldn't it be great? Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I finally started to realize that if I just addressed that one issue, that everything else started to get better for me. Now it wasn't like that in the beginning. I didn't know that. I was skeptical like everyone else. I thought, is this really going to work? I'm going to give it a try, whatever. But I dove in and I gave the system that I talk about a try because it was like, look, it has a guarantee. It's two real food products. It's not medications. What have I got to lose? I was so sick at the time that of course I'm getting phone calls right now. I was so sick at the time that I just didn't know what else to do, and I was terrified for my health. Like, you guys, there are so many things that link into this thing called insulin resistance. And what insulin resistance really is, I sound really nasally because I have allergies going on right now. Insulin resistance is just when our food is converted into sugar too quickly in our body. It creates this load on the pancreas to create insulin at a high rate. So we have too much insulin in the body. The body eventually becomes resistant to it. But with that, only 12% of American adults are metabolically healthy. So what does that mean? When you're metabolically healthy, you're switching between insulin and glucagon. Most of us are not doing that. We're running solely on insulin. We're getting heavier. We're getting tireder. We're getting sicker. We're having more pain. And that's all related to this thing called insulin resistance. That means that only 1 in 8 Americans are achieving optimal metabolic health, which carries serious implications for our health. And this is part of the problem. The part of the problem is cardiovascular diseases. And look, guys, 95% of high blood pressure is caused by insulin resistance, according to scientists and doctors in the field. Now, when you take that into consideration and say that, okay, 95% of hypertension or high blood pressure is caused by insulin resistance, and 80% of cardiovascular diseases or deaths are caused by long-term hypertension, that's pretty wide sweeping implications that maybe what we should do is look at the insulin resistance, take care of what's going on with our heart so we can be more healthy. I mean, that would be the reasonable thing, and yet it's getting missed. Doctors are not telling you. We do have cardiologists on board now. So we do have doctors and cardiologists, neuroscientists, cardiologists, oncologists, endocrinologists who are all learning about the system and are like, wow, we've had a couple who've said this is the best thing that they've seen in all their years of medicine, and it's wide sweeping. So if we want to take care of the root cause of all of these things, we really need to address this thing called insulin resistance. So again, insulin resistance is just that body's need for insulin based on the fact that we're eating foods that are converting into sugar too quickly. And the problem is that it's turning into all of these things. All of these diseases and disorders are linked to insulin resistance. So yes, I already mentioned high blood pressure, right? PCOS, erectile dysfunction, arthritis, sarcopenia, muscle wasting, dementia, Alzheimer's, heart disease, stroke, obesity, childhood obesity, type 2 diabetes, all of this stuff is linked to insulin resistance. But even more than that, there's all of these things as well. So we start to think at things like tinnitus, vertigo, Meniere's, periodontitis, heart disorders other than just hypertension, I already mentioned, osteoporosis, inflammation and arthritis, Alzheimer's, I already mentioned. But it's also linked to Parkinson's and autism. I just did a video this morning on autism and PCOS and the link up between those and insulin resistance. It's crazy, you guys. It all links up. Am I saying that this is going to cure autism? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I would never say that. Am I going to say that it's helped mine, that it's helped, that it can help? I've seen it over the years when I put people on keto diets, when I was working with autistic adults, that their sensitivities got better. Absolutely. Now, when you look at the fact that most 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 women with PCOS or with autism will end up with PCOS, and 35% of women with PCOS will have autism. That's a pretty big link. So if there's one thing that's linked to both of those, and that thing is insulin resistance, why wouldn't we address the insulin resistance, especially if we can do it with just real food products? It just blows my mind. Like, why wouldn't we do that? And so that's what I'm here to talk about, is how we can do all of this. But look, so let me go back here. You guys, people ask me all the time, like, how do I tell if I'm insulin resistant? Well, here are 5 ways, and these are according to one of the top metabolic scientists in the world. His name is Ben Bickman. Have his book here, Why We Get Sick. You guys check it out. A lot of my content comes from this book and the cited information in this book. But anyway, so hypertension, we already went over high blood pressure, right? Did you guys know that skin tags and dark skin patches are a sign of insulin resistance? That you don't have to have them cut off, you don't have to have them lasered off, you don't have to have them banded off, you don't have to have any of that. But if you take care of the insulin resistance, that those things can go away. Like, how many of you are bothered by skin tags? It's not a grandma disease, it's not a grandpa disease, it's not a thing, oh, I'm just getting older, I have these skin tags. That's what I used to think. Absolutely. I was like, my grandmother had them. My mother had them when she got this age. Like, as I got them, as I got older, I was just like, this is just what happens to the body when you get older. But what if I tell you that it's not true? That it's what happens to your body when you're having too much insulin in your body. I had skin takes under my arms, in my groin. It was like embarrassing, right? I had them starting to show up on my neck. They're all gone. They were all gone within 3 months of me starting this simple system that I'm going to be talking about in a few minutes. But don't, if you have them cut off or lasered off, you know that they're just going to show back up someplace else because you didn't address the root cause, and that root cause is insulin resistance. So skin tags are one of my big things, right? A lot of things are my big thing. Okay, PCOS and erectile dysfunction. Wow, I got to meet with the scientist, and he explained some of these things. I will go back over that in more detail later if anybody wants. If you want to know a little bit more about PCOS and especially erectile dysfunction, because I got some new news on that I was like, I had no idea that's what was causing the erectile dysfunction. If you want to know that, say me. If you don't care, we'll just move on. But you guys, some other ways that you can tell that this may be you are the following things, okay? So here's another list of some of the things, if you're experiencing this, that this may be you. So if you have this bulging belly that pokes out, looks like you're pregnant, whether you are or not, whether you're thin or heavy, young or old, you just have this belly that started showing up out of nowhere. It's just growing, and it's kind of firm. It's not the jiggly fat. That's insulin resistance. And I can explain. I need to do a video explaining why that is. Now, if you've had labs and you have high triglycerides and a low HDL, those in combination are leaning towards insulin resistance as well. So then if you have this water retention and edema, that can be a sign of insulin resistance. If you're constantly hungry, especially after you eat, or if you're feeling cold or fatigued after you eat, that can be insulin resistance also. Chronic fatigue, body aches, migraines, headaches, those are all signs of insulin resistance. Now, if you take a look at those and you're like, okay, well, I have migraines, but I don't have anything else. Maybe it's something else. But if you have a number of those things, if you have a number of them, like, start putting it together. Link those dots. PCOS. So PCOS, you guys, is really being said that it's an insulin resistance problem. Yes, you may have a genetic marker for it. I'm going to go over this really briefly. And I will do more videos on PCOS, I promise. But Dr. Bickman, in his talk as a scientist, he was talking to us and he said, in his opinion, PCOS should be called metabolic infertility. If you address the insulin resistance, you address the PCOS. So your periods can get normal. You start getting rid of that facial hair, the receding hairline, the difficult periods, the infertility, when you address the insulin resistance. And we've seen it time and again. I have so many people who have been on the system who were told that they would never be able to have children or that they would have a hard time having children because of their PCOS. They started the system, started having more normal periods. Eventually, many of them ended up starting their families. Some of them are mothers today because it's been a while that, they started the system over a year ago, and that's amazing. Um, so if you're like me, I had PCOS when I was younger, and I was told that, not just when I was younger, up until a few years ago, but I was told that I probably would never have kids. I was at the doctor's office twice a month, every month, trying to figure out what was wrong with me because I wanted kids so bad. And so if you have that struggle, I get it. But you don't have to struggle with that. And if I can tell you that it's just food, that we just need to fix what's wrong with our food, and that I've done it with 2 real food products, like, would you be willing to try that? It's got a 90-day money-back guarantee. So I'm going to talk about those in a minute, but I want to get through the rest of this. Look, this is what's happening to us, right? So we're told, number one, if you're sick, you're being told that it's your fault, that you need to do calorie counting, that you need to eat better, that you need to exercise more, that you need to whatever, 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 whatever. And you get the eyes rolled at you at the doctor's office. You get all this stuff, shame and blame thrown at you. And it's really not your fault. We're put in an environment that's unhealthy for us. But they tell you, do calorie counting, do keto, do intermittent fasting, do diet pills, do all this stuff. And none of it is really sustainable for most of us. Some people can do it and find it sustainable, but you end up feeling like this woman in the middle, like, help, just please help. I've tried everything, it's not working, the wraps and the detoxes and the acupuncture and all the stuff, and I'm not getting anywhere. So what if we can take all that stress away and make it more sustainable and simple and easy, and really just address that root cause of the fact that we're missing certain nutrients and fibers in our diet that's causing all this stuff to happen? Like, wouldn't that be wonderful? Instead of handing you a pill that's going to cause another disorder, that's going to cause another pill, that's going to cause all this stuff, why not just address the root cause? And it's just food. So, here's the thing too. If you guys, how many of you guys have felt like that? By the way, when you go to doctors, and I'm not trying to bastardize doctors, because there are good doctors or bad doctors just like the rest of us, and some of them know, some of them don't. Some of them are just literally frustrated, like mine was. She was a great doc. I saw her break down stuff that other people could not, because I worked for her, could not even seem to figure out. But me, she couldn't figure out. Another doctor I worked with couldn't figure out. Actually told me I was always going to be fat, sick, and tired, and there was nothing she could do for me. These are from doctors I'm hearing this stuff. These are from doctors I'm hearing I don't know what to do. And yet, 2 years ago, I found a real food system that helps me manage all of that. Diabetes is reversed. Hypertension is reversed. My hyperlipidemia, all of it is reversed. My labs are all normal. No meds for almost 2 years now. That's crazy to me. I worked in medical. I get it. It's like, this is insane, but it works, you guys. And the thing is, most of us are being told it's our fault, and that if we just had more willpower, we would do better. But then when we look at things like, we have this modern food environment that's so imperfect around us. We have job demands and family demands and all this stuff. You guys know that willpower is a finite resource. When you've used up your willpower all day long, from not yelling back at your boss that's yelling at you, from not getting into it with the coworkers who are being petty, from not flipping off the driver who just cut you off in traffic, to all the things, you get home at night and your willpower is gone. Those resources have been used up, and now you don't know what to do, and all you want to do is get something to eat and go rest. It's a problem, and we're relying on willpower for our diets, and it just doesn't work. So we need to take that action of having to rely on willpower away and still give you what you need. And this is it, you guys. When you have those moments, this is what you're faced with, right? We've all been there. How many of you guys have been there where at the end of the day, you're like, I made a commitment this week to eat really good. I'm going to do better with my diet. I'm going to do everything I'm supposed to do. But you get home, you get to the end of the day, and you're like, dude, I don't want to go cook. I don't want to have to think about it. I don't even remember what's thought out. I don't want to have to deal with the kids yelling at me and everybody saying, when is the video going to be ready? All of that stuff. So you just stop off someplace and grab some food. You're like, just this one time. I'm just going to do it just this one time. And then one time turns into 2 times, and 2 times turns into 3 times. And then you're like, what happened to my week? And I just can't. Then you start blaming yourself. I just can't seem to get it right, right? Stop blaming and shaming yourself. Enough people do that for you. But look, at people will say, just eat raw organic foods. So what if I show you this? You guys can Google this yourself. Go look up what our food used to look like. The top left is what a carrot used to look like. Bottom is what our carrots look like now. Our carrots used to be a very fibrous, bitter root that was really chewy and hard to eat. They wanted to eat it. There had some flavor to it, but they were like, over time, it started being more and more, we want that crunchy, sweet thing. And that's what we have now. These perfect looking carrots that don't look as much like a root. Watermelon in the center used to be surrounded by fiber and seeds to slow down the absorption of that fructose in the middle. Now we've taken all of that away, and so you guys get this straight shot of fructose, or I call it sugar water in a shell, when you eat watermelon. We all love watermelon. Like I don't know anybody, I've never met anybody that doesn't like watermelon. And like on a hot summer day, we're coming up on that, watermelon cold from the fridge, like that's a treat to me. Like who else loves that? But what we're getting now is sugar and not the rest of the stuff that we need to manage it. Corn is the same. It used to look more like a grain. Now is this vegetable that we eat. When we look at our grains, we've stripped all of those outside layers, proteins, enzymes, phytosterols, all from the grain so that we can get to that white starchy endosperm in the middle. And this is what's happening to us. Our food has been changed. It's not just the boxed food. It's not just the middle of the aisle food. So even when you're shopping the circumference of the store, you could still be getting sick because you could still be getting food that's not right for your body. And scientists are saying that most of our food does not recognize in our body what it's supposed to be, because it's been so modified that our body just is like, I don't know what to do with this, and it's turning it into sugar. Then all the stuff is happening. Crazy stuff, right? So what do? Well, I'm going to give you 6 simple tips, and then we're going to go over the system that I used to manage all that for myself. Because it's the one thing that I found after doing the medical medium, after doing the crazy shakes and the berberine and the turmeric and the ginger and the wild blueberries and the kale and all the stuff. You guys, I did all of that. And it wasn't moving the needle fast enough for me. In fact, my blood sugars were still going up. My A1C was still going up, and I was strict. I had this big ninja. I was doing that. On the other counter, I had medications the doctor was giving me. I wasn't getting better. Felt like I was backed up against a wall, like, what the hell am I going to do? But I have to do something, so I did this. Now, the 6 simple principles I'm going to show you, you can do with or without. This is what I do in conjunction with the system, and it's simple. There's not a food plan. There's not a diet. You don't have to go shopping for this. You don't have to plan for it. You don't have to wait till next week because you have a party this weekend. You start when you start, and you just use the tools to make all of it sustainable. So the principles are, you want to get in fiber first every time you eat, before you eat. That's what's going to slow down the delivery of those carbohydrates into your system, but not just any fiber, okay? It's not just this stuff. By the way, I have some news about that I learned from the scientists last week. That's just crazy. But then you want to fill with fat and prioritize proteins. I need to flip that around on the slide. So I really want you to prioritize protein and fill with fats. Proteins will satiate you more than fats will. They will also give your body things that it needs, the building blocks that it needs to be healthy. The fats need to be paired with the proteins because your body can't metabolize proteins without fats. Learn some really interesting stuff on that too. You guys, if you want to know what that information that I learned about fats and proteins were, just type fats in the comment. Now, I have a comment over here. You guys, I haven't turned on my chat on this other channel. Whew. I'm so just like crazy today. All right. So you're told that you have prediabetes and high blood pressure. You know that both of those are insulin resistance. Prediabetes, diabetes is just end stage insulin resistance. Okay. You start with hyperinsulinemia, or too much insulin. You become insulin resistant. You get prediabetes, and then you get diabetic. And high blood pressure is 95% of high blood pressure is linked directly back to insulin resistance. You can have high blood pressure long before you become diabetic, like I did. I had high blood pressure since my 20s. They couldn't figure out what was going on. Cycled me through different medications for 30 years. Nobody could figure it out. Guess what? I'm off of all those medications. And now all I do is this real food system. Glucose intolerant. Glucose intolerant, I would think your glucose probably ranges from high to low. Your glucose probably, when you eat something that has carbohydrates in it, probably spikes really high. Not a doctor, so I'm not here to diagnose. Okay, I cannot diagnose anybody. I can talk through what's going in my head and help you, and you may think, okay, well, that makes sense to me. but I cannot diagnose, okay? Losartan, 100 milligrams. I used to be on losartan. I was also then put on, when losartan wasn't working, I was put on lisinopril and hydrochlorothiazide, right? Both those things. I had a blood pressure of 150 over 110 was the lowest we could get it to on that medication, but it really ranged at some point during the day about 180 over 150. And there were many nights, I just did a video yesterday, many nights where I would wake up and it would be well over 200 on the systolic and well over 160 on the diastolic. That's heart attack range. Like, how am I upright and walking? I don't know. How is my heart still functioning? I don't know. I'm damn lucky. But all I did 2 years ago was I chose to stop the medications because that's my personality. I'm not advocating for that for anyone else, but I started the system. 2 years later, I don't have high blood pressure and I'm not on any medications. Years ago, you did an eating blood work before and after 180, 100. So yeah, so the if you have too much insulin and you're insulin resistant, that could be a problem, right? Insulin resistance can show up in that way as well. I can't tell you that that's what it is. I can tell you if you missed the simple ways that you can tell. But the fact that you have high blood pressure would lead me to think, without the presence of some genetic disorder with your heart, the high blood pressure would lead me to think that you have high blood pressure, according to what these scientists and doctors that I listen to say, and one of them is Dr. Ben Bickman. Okay, and he talked about it last week. I was there at live at a talk. Gosh, I wish I could take his class. But he talked about how high blood pressure is definitely insulin resistant. So here's the thing. What I'm talking about is 2 real food products that you do at 3 points during the day. And if you could do that and help that high blood pressure that you had, because it doesn't interact with your losartan. You can stay on your losartan until your doctor titrates you off. Would you be willing to try it and see if you can get off this crazy cycle of medications and being told you're glucose intolerant and get your body functioning with glucose more normally? Would you be willing to try it? Because who knows, it may work for you. All right, so the other couple of principles are these. So we talked about fiber first, right? Prioritize protein, fill with fats. Of course, I'm going to tell you, limit your carbs. Control your carbs. And then watch the clock. That means I do a 16-8 fast. And all 16-8 means is, like, I had dinner about 7 o'clock last night. I won't have lunch until I'm done with this live. That puts me at a good 17-hour fast, which is probably more than most people want to go. I'll eat my 2 meals within a 6 to 8 hour window. And then I start the whole process over again, and I try not to snack. I'm going to be honest. You guys, look. Let's be real. Reality check time. Like, I have people who say, I never snack. I can't tell you that. I aim to never snack, but I do snack from time to time. It's not what I should be doing. I know that. But you know what? If I do say, like, because I'm an emotional eater. How many people are emotional eaters? When I have those days where my emotions are drained, I don't have any willpower left, I'm just like, I just want to eat something to make me feel better. I just still have an extra balance before I eat that snack. And then I feel a little bit better about what I'm doing because it makes it more sustainable. So, Lana, or I don't know how to say your name, honey. Yeah, yep. Stress makes me want those comfort foods. It's an emotional soothing thing, right? Like, I don't know. When I was a kid, Mom, I love my mother to death, but if she was happy, her and Grandma, if they were happy, cook for you. I also am Native American. I'm telling you, every time we went home to visit our family, every single person we visited, it was like, feed you. Like, we love you. We want to feed you. So here you go. Here's some food. Eat up. And you're going to hurt our feelings if you don't eat. We're programmed to have this emotional eating thing, right? But look, I know we can work on that. But what if we can take the physical drivers away? And then when we have the emotional time where our willpower is gone and we're stressed and we're just not feeling good, we can add a simple tool in to help us manage those moments. That's why I love the system, because it's not, okay, you guys don't have to be perfect. Of course, the more perfect you are, the better and quicker you're going to have results. But in the meantime, you don't have to beat yourself up when you're not perfect. You just use the tools and go on about your day and just keep plugging along. This is not one of those things where like, oh my God, I'm doing keto. I can't have more than 30 grams of carbohydrates a day. And if I want to have carbohydrates, I better go work out in the gym for 2 hours, like heavy squats and deadlifts. That used to be me, so that my muscles are open, so that they'll intake that glucogen and I'll be good. I'll be good. No, I don't have to do any of that. I just use my tools. Okay. So you can do it too. And you guys, I'm going to pause for a minute. So for those of you guys who want to know, I'm just going to take this pause right now. This is where you're going to go. If you tap on my picture up above, it's going to take you to my profile. Right there in my profile is this link. So where the red lights are, you want to click on that link right below the red lights. I think I didn't fix this over on the other side. Hang on a second. I did. Yay. Let's click that down. You guys, I got to fix something here. Got to take care of all my peeps. All right, so we're going to go back. Isn't that crazy? 40 of me. Most people can't deal with one of me. How the hell am I expecting you to take 40? Okay, so click on that link. When you click on that link, you're going to get to this page here, which right here is the order the Feel Great. That's where you're going to order it. $5 a day. Let's go through it really quick. It's a tea you drink in the morning, a pre-meal drink you drink before you eat anything. I'm not sure why it's not showing up. It should say Michelle Fayant at the top when you click on my link. And then that's going to take you in to here. And this is what it looks like. The tea, you get 30 of. The pre-meal drink, you get 60 of. That's your system. You want to leave it on subscription because it's going to save you about $10 in shipping. You get $5 off the product. That's already a $15 savings. Then you get the free Omega Life 3 Resolve the first month you order. Plus, you can cancel this at any time. So why not save yourself the shipping and the money and save yourself the stress of next month you're feeling good and you're like, oh, shoot, I'm running out of product and I forgot to order. It comes in lemon, ginger, and black. Black is going away. Black is made to taste, look, and feel more like coffee. But for those of you who have not been on the system, I would start with lemon or lemon ginger. Lemon ginger has a really good ginger hit to it. And so if you like ginger and you like that little bit of spice in your tea, do that. Otherwise, order the lemon. Let me get back to my studio here and fix this for everybody. So you guys, that's where you order it. And get this all fixed back up. Whoo! Denny's. Hey. Yeah, you know what? I hadn't been live for a while, you guys, because I was off traveling, right? I did a Women's Health and Fitness Expo in Vegas. Then I had a couple of days of training on mindset. Our company is amazing about that. Then I got to spend some time with Dr. Ben Bickman in a talk he gave as a scientist. Amazing stuff. Flew home, was with kids in meetings, Mother's Day, kids' birthdays. Just like I was worn out. You started it Saturday. So I need to get on the phone with you. I've been trying to get caught up, but my email servers had me locked out. So I'm trying to resolve that this afternoon. But let's get a hold of each other, Denny's. If you should have my number. Text me and let's chat. So I want to make sure you're getting the most out of the system. Ben Bickman's book is Why We Get Sick. Okay. You guys, this book for me, this is what turned me around in understanding why I was getting better, why everything was feeling so much better, why all of these things that were seemingly unrelated were changing. He goes over it all. You'll see as you go through his stuff on heart health and whatnot, you'll see my videos in here because I literally read his book, listen to his stuff, and create your videos based on people who know what they're talking about. People who know more than me, okay? I'm just the message man in between. And I'm just a connect the dots lady. Great book. Go get it. Read it if you're really serious about taking care of your health. By the way, although Ben is a scientist, he is working with the company again now. I'm super excited. I wish if I had a week, 2 weeks to just sit and listen to that man talk about all of this stuff, I would be so happy. You guys just don't know. So the product is the Feel Great system. So if you just go to my profile link up here, tap on that, and then the second tab down says order Feel Great. That's what you want to click on, and that's where you're going to get the system, and then you get access to me. We're going to help you get started and help you start working through your health. I can coach you with like how to take the system and stuff. Again, not a doctor, can't diagnose, can't do all of that stuff. I can help you with understanding the system and how to get the most out of it. And that's what worked for me, and it's been working for so many other people. That's why I'm here talking about it, because it's literally just saving lives. Just saving lives. Imagine that I'm saying just saving lives. And I say that because that's what I feel when I hear people who are telling me they're having the first normal heart scan they've had in 4 years after being on the product. When people are telling me they're having kids after they started the product because they had PCOS, or what Ben calls, I love this term, metabolic infertility. You guys, the stories are crazy. And men with erectile dysfunction who are having normal function, all of that stuff going on, amazing stuff. All right, so I want to go on here. I get so excited and so geeked out. Like, I do a morning talk and it's more just kind of laid back, but when I get to talk about this stuff, I get all geeked out. So Lana, Tess, let's go over it right now. Give me 5 minutes and I'm going to show you what both of the products are, so you can decide if this is right for you. Okay, we got a deal. So look, the system is just 2 real food products. I got some bug bites. A tea I drink in the morning, a pre-meal drink that I drink before I eat anything, and I'm going to clean the lens here because it looks foggy. All right, let's try that. There we go. That looks better. All right, and then I do the fasting, which you said you're already doing the fasting, right? So what this looks like is this. You guys, fat, yes. Oh, I've been missing over here. You guys, okay, before I go into the system, because I promised to answer these, I want to tell you this. And then we're going to go dive into the system, because I've been ignoring people on the other platforms. The fat thing, you guys, protein needs fat. What Dr. Ben Bickman said was, and I didn't get like an exact amount from him and whatnot, but couple of things he said. I can't say 2 things because I'll be wrong. Anyway, he said, you never find a source of protein in nature without fat present with it. That's pretty deep implications, right? Why are we taking fat out of everything when nature has put fat with protein? You cannot metabolize protein without the presence of fat. So it has to be balanced. If you have less fat than you need to balance out your protein, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to utilize the protein. You're just going to poop it out. And the other thing, this was the one that got me, and I get like, ugh. So how many of you guys have heard of rhabdo? Like, you see it in athletes and whatnot, especially athletes who are trying to do low fat. So here's the thing. You have this fat cell, or this muscle cell, right? You're pumping it full of protein, and then you're working it out really hard. Well, there's a membrane around your muscle cell. Do you know what that membrane is? That membrane is made up of fat. So if you're not giving your body enough fat to create that membrane around that growing muscle, and that membrane becomes thin and inflexible because there's not enough fat there, what do you think happens? That muscle explodes because it grows further than the membrane can stretch. Please eat healthy fats and eat them with your proteins. Don't be stripping the chicken breast of the skin and all of that stuff. Eat it and understand that you need it. Fats, healthy fats, do not make you fat. Healthy fats help your body in so many ways, in feeling satiated, in your joints and in your brain. You need healthy fats, and you need them when you're eating proteins. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this. Now, back to the products, because Tess is waiting on me patiently. So Tess is already doing some intermittent fasting, so she already knows. Like I said, I have my dinner around 7. Pork rinds are great. I think pork rinds are great, except for the fact that most of the store-bought pork rinds you get are doused in chemicals, right? So the cleaner, the better, but I think pork rinds are great. I like them. It's a great snack that's not going to spike your insulin. That's what I think. So if I have my dinner around 6 p.m., it's about 8 p.m. before my fasting window starts, and then about 6 hours after dinner, before my blood sugar normalizes, the insulin levels can then drop, and then the glucagon can come out. I'll go over those in just a second. At that point, then about 12 hours later, your digestive system resets. That's right when most of us are eating again. And so If we stop that and instead we have Unimate in the morning, which does not break your fast, but just helps you feel satiated, gives you energy, mental clarity, and a feeling of calm, that's the way to start your day. Now you can extend that fast out to about 16 hours where you actually start to have autophagy happen, where you're burning fat, you're burning up some other tissues that need to go away, and you're in this amazing state. You don't feel the hunger until about that 16th, 17th hour anyway. When you're using the Unimate, your HGH increases, your ketones bump up, and now you're in that metabolically flexible state that we want you to be in. So that's why we do the intermittent fasting, and this is why we do this tea with it, because I'm going to show you the tea right now. Okay, so the tea is going to help with those hunger times, right? But this is what our intermittent fast looks like. We're having that morning where we're having the tea, and that's helping with the fat burning because it's helping the ketones bump up. And your HGH is already up, so now you're in this great fat burning state or fat utilization state. I'm not going to mince words. Look, if it's real food, so in the afternoon, if you get hungry, if you have an energy dip, you just have another tea. Because it's not like medications like, oh, shoot, I can only have one of these in a day, or I can't have too many Red Bull, it's going to destroy my heart. No, this is real food, and this tea I'm going to show you has science that says it actually helps with healthy heart rate. So you can have more than one. If you have those days, which I have when I have my grandson over, where you want to have 3 meals, maybe you're having breakfast with the family, maybe you have a late night snack and drinks with friends, you just have another balance because it's just real food. Um, thank you. I try, you know what? I try to be that person who actually knows what I'm saying and not just being a know-it-all. So I appreciate that. Um, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that so much, Rox. Now, you guys look at one of the reasons I love the tea, and hey, Jason, I've missed you, bud. We haven't got to talk much because I've been out gallivanting, right? All right, so one of the things I love is this 5-step process that our tea goes through. So not only is it handpicked, so it's sustainably and ethically harvested, we take it to a fire roasting process, which is key in releasing those components that we need to get to your body from the bulk of the plant. Then we extract them, concentrate them, and then the last step is we take it to this lab in Switzerland that does a process called hyperpure. And what that does is it removes those environmental toxins and molds and PAHs so that now you have an extract that's highly concentrated and extremely pure. And so, look at, I'm going to show you in just a second. There's 300, hi Florida Cop, there's 375 times more chlorogenic acids in this than a normal standard yerba mate tea. Ugh. So, look, if do you want to steep 375 bags of tea in a day to get the benefits that this is giving you, and then take the risk of the pesticides and molds and whatnot that are in those? So now maybe you're trying to get that same effect, but you're getting all these other toxins in. Why? Plus the pain and steeping 375 bags. I would rather just have one extract concentrate that's really pure and mix it up in my water and carry it around in my mug, and I'm done. And look at, I put this in my purse, and that's all I take with me. If I am out and about and I have a day where I'm just like, I need more energy, I just grab a bottle of water, mix this up in, and I'm good. But I always keep a stainless steel mug. Jason, do you know I always keep a stainless steel mug around? He does. And guess what my kids gave me for Mother's Day? 2 more mugs, because they come over and there's like a mug in every room in my house, literally, even one by the bathtub. So it's an yerba mate extract. And so the yerba mate is harvested in Argentina, and the people there who have grown it and harvested it for hundreds of years, a couple of things they call it. They call it the food of the gods because even when they're absent or devoid of other nutrients, they use this to live and thrive off of, not just survive, but thrive. And then they call it the hunger killer because it literally, when they're in those times where food is lean and they're just hungry, this helps shut down their hunger so that they make it through till, there's more food available. And that's an age-long thing. It's an amazing tool, and I'm going to show you. How about I'm going to talk to you about 3 things, just 3 of the things that are in this that we call adaptogens that are really addressing some of the issues that we want to address. And I'm about to show you those now, Tess. So first of all, the Unimate, what's cool about it is, like I said, it's just real food. You can have it any day, in all day, anytime. It doesn't have crashes. It's not addictive. I regularly drink mine in the evening, and I still sleep like a baby, more like a log. But it suppresses hunger and cravings by allowing you to have access to your stored fat for fuel. It boosts mood and mental and physical performance, and it improves endurance and strength during training. By the way, that improvement is like 10 to 13% for those of you that are athletes, and it does not pop you on a drug test because it's real food. So, so do you have any questions about yerba mate? Because we're going to dive in right now what the benefits of it are. So that chlorogenic acid that I talked about, right? So it gives you a neuroprotective gene expression and an antioxidant effect in the brain. Okay, if that doesn't mean anything to you, that's okay. To those that know, they know. But what it's doing is it's promoting feelings of well-being. It's supporting healthy blood pressure and glucose levels, and it's promoting weight loss. Like I said, there's 375 times more chlorogenic acids in this than in any standard yerba mate tea without all the toxins, okay? And with a lot more ease. Now, theobromine is one of the other things that's in here that I call an adaptogen, that the scientists call an adaptogen, and it's best known as the mood-boosting molecule found in high-quality chocolate. It's that thing that gives you the ooh-ah feeling. Well, there's 3 times more theobromine in this little tea than there is in the highest quality dark chocolate. That theobromine helps support healthy blood pressure and cholesterol levels. It promotes a feeling of calmness, reduces mental fatigue, and improves focus. And then there's even one more. It's called mate saponins. Those molecules are helping support healthy triglycerides in the body's ability to burn fat. And guess what? You know that everybody's talking about reishi tea, reishi coffee, reishi. Well, one of the biggest benefits in the reishi stuff is these triterpenoids. Well, they're present in the mate saponins, and those triterpenoids, I'm not as versed on those, so hang on with me, are suggested to have human health benefits, including lowering serum cholesterol and providing antioxidant and anti-cancer activity in the body. Amazing stuff from a real food product. Now, one of the other things that's not on my slides, because I just learned this last week, is that the drugs, the GLP-1 agonists, which are things like Mounjaro, Trulicity, Ozempic, semaglutide, all that same class, right? This tea, those things are creating a satiety in you by making you nauseous. They're increasing your insulin sensitivity, but they're also increasing the amount of fat cells in your body. So in about 2 years, you're no longer having the effects of the nauseous. You're hungry again. You still haven't fixed the root cause, but now you have twice as many fat cells. So now you're putting on weight at a rapid rate. What if I tell you that you can get the satiety and the mood and all of that from this tea without all of those damaging benefits? Would that be amazing? That you can actually nourish your body and get those benefits of satiety, not from nausea, but because your body is actually burning that fat for fuel, and it's making you more insulin sensitive. So the insulin levels are staying down, and you're actually burning off those excess tissues and fuels. So that's the Unimate. Now, the Unimate, look, you can have it anytime, like I said. You want to do it between meals for it to help curb snacking. I love it. If I start feeling hungry, it's got a great taste. I drink it, soothes my hunger. But, before important meetings, test presentations, whenever you just want to feel mentally on before you work out, those are all great times. But definitely in the morning when you wake up to help you have that boost of energy for the day. And look, you can mix some like no calorie stevia or sweeteners in there if you want one that has a flavor in it. You can mix some whole milk in it. Be careful with that during the fasting. I would do that in the afternoon. You can put MCT oils or coconut oils in there. You can mix it with some protein. Now the protein in the milk, I would say for when you're at the end of your fasting area, right? But you can add a little bit to it to make it a different drink. Like you want kind of like what would it be? Like, I'm trying to think. Oh, it's all right. So the people who, I'm telling on myself all over myself. How many people eat Chick-fil-A and have had the really super sinful. What the heck is that lemonade? They're blended lemonade. So if you mix the vanilla protein with the lemon unimate and blend it, you're going to get a drink similar to that, but it's healthier for you without all the sugar, with a lot of protein and a lot of other good benefits. So, okay, so now the balance. Balance. I love my balance. I mean, I love my Unimate. I can't live without either one of these. One of the big differences with our balance and other fibers is that this has a patented blend. Yes, they have special names because they're patented, because we've spent a lot of time figuring out these specific blends. So I've heard some people be like, oh, it's just a made up name. Well, every patented name is kind of a made up name. Let's get over it. So here's what's happening. When you have balance, normally you have this huge glucose spike, and then um, you have this this reactive hypoglycemia where your blood glucose is down. You're tired, you're fatigued, you're hungry because you need more energy. Insulin is out there in high amounts, blocking your fat breakdown, your fat burning, and it's stimulating fat storage. It's not a fat storing hormone, but it stimulates it. And now you're in that vicious cycle that you've been in and been sick. Well, so that's what it looks like right here. You have a meal, you spike your glucose, you spike your insulin, and you keep doing that every time you eat. Now your insulin levels are high, and it takes a long time for them to come down. Balance slows down the delivery of that glucose into your system, so it slows down those insulin spikes, and now you have a more normal looking system, so that you're not ending up in that high. Sorry, am I back? It said I lost. I've been getting too many calls. All right, so now we're controlling the insulin spikes, right? So with the balance, these are the golden parts of the balance. So there's this Biosphere Fiber proprietary formula. It's just a unique blend. It's an amazing unique blend that includes 5 different sources of fibers, and those fibers help support healthy cholesterol levels. And they slow the conversion of high glycemic carbs into blood glucose. So in effect, taking a high glycemic carb and turning it into a medium glycemic carb with 1 packet of balance, slowing down the delivery of all that. So now not only does it slow down the delivery of the sugars, it's slowing down the delivery of the food. You stay fuller longer. Okay. The second patented blend in there is the 7X technology. And the 7X technology is this blend of plant-derived viscous fibers. And viscous just means that they're going to thicken up. They soak up water, okay? So they form a thick gel when mixed with water and get into your gut and mix with those acids in your gut. Now you have this mass in your gut that's a thick gel that's coating your gut, and it's encapsulating those sugars, so that all of this is slowing down and keeping you fuller longer and keeping you full before you even start to eat. Wow. And it really does. Like, if I have my balance, if I forget my balance, I eat way more. I rarely forget it, but it happens. Like, I'm human. All right. I just know I want my balance, because when I have it, I eat about half as much. I still am doing amazing. I'm just above Baltimore, Maryland, but we ship everywhere in the U.S. So, so the Cardio Matrix is a blend of plant extracts. So there's a big word in there, phytosterols, just no plant extracts that support the body's cholesterol absorption process, and that blend can help limit the absorption of cholesterol from the digestive process. There's been a lot of research on chrysanthemum and how it does exactly that. So then what we're going to take a look at, the last thing in here, because our scientists can't leave it half-assed or incomplete, they've added this vitamin complex that just helps with your metabolism, helps with your digestive system, and it supports everything that we're doing with the fibers. Now, those fibers, in conjunction with these vitamins and minerals, there's been studies that show that those vitamins and minerals amplify the effects of those patented fiber blends that I just talked about. So now you have this really complete system. So now here's the gold, you guys. How many of you guys have heard about the system and at the same time have heard people saying, just get this? How many of you have heard that? Because I know many of you have. In fact, I have people who left the system, did this, and then called me back months later and said, I am sick. All my symptoms are back. I don't feel well. Can I get back on the system? So a couple of things with this. When you buy the normal Metamucil, not only is it just 2 types of fiber, it's not doing the job of the 9 different soluble and insoluble fibers we have, but it's loaded with sugar. So according to Dr. Bickman, when you take normal Metamucil, thank you. You know what? I'm going to finish the Metamucil thing, and then I'm going to finish thanking you, because here's the thing. When you do the Metamucil, the normal Metamucil, Bickman wears a continuous glucose monitor. Seriously thinking about getting one for myself because I have that science curious brain. But it spikes your blood sugars. So why on earth would you take something that's saying it's controlling your blood sugars and yet it spikes your blood sugars? You guys, I did ketone tests with this during a fasted state, and it doubled my ketones. Those of you that don't know, ketones are up when insulin is down. If this was spiking my insulin or spiking my blood sugars, my ketones would have dropped. So this is helping me in the fasted state, in the autophagy. This is stymieing it. Why would you do this? Plus, this is a lot of psyllium husk, and that in high amounts can be hard on your gut. So now, even this one, sugar-free. Do you know what their sweetener of choice is? It's the most damaging of the sweeteners out there, called aspartame. So either way, they're either pumping it full of sugar or they're pumping it full of aspartame. And why would you want to do that to your body? Thank you. Thanks, Rox. You know what? I may not have as many people on my lives, I may not, but I want you guys to know the truth, and I will never lie to you. And if I find new information that says something different than I've said before, I'm going to be the first one to say, hey, I was wrong. Let's change that. And I appreciate that. That makes all of this worth it. And you know what, Florida Cop, I love the word autophagy too. Oh my God, we're such dorks. Denny, thank you. Thank you. You guys, I really want to take care of you. And I have my own issues. Like I get hung up with life and, a little one who has needs that I got to take care of. But you guys really are my priority. I need you to know that. So if you text me, I will get back to you. And I really want to see every one of you get healthy. You guys have no idea the little happy, giggly 3-year-old dance I do throughout the house when I get good news from my team, because all right, so I'm going to break it back down just a minute. We're done talking about balance and stuff. Yeah, you can text me. If you don't have my number, you should get it off of my link in bio. Oh, sure. Let's do that right now, because that'll help anybody. You guys, plus you get to just, once you order, you get a hold of me anyway. So let's go here. When you go to my bio up here, dude, you know what? I made the mistake of trying to price check my insurance, and now I'm getting every phone call from every insurance agent across the nation. Okay, so you're going to tap on my profile right up here, the picture, right? Me in the red shirt, red glasses. And then when you do that, it's going to bring up another box. Just tap again. You'll get to my profile. Right under my profile are these red lights. Your link is going to be black, not red. Click on that link and it will take you here. Okay. That link right here, order the Feel Great system, is right where you want to order it. I do want to go over a couple of things before I jet out of here this morning. I'm not really going to jet, but So I talk about those 6 simple steps. You guys, there's a free ebook right here. You can sign up to have me send that. And then I give you about 6 or 7 different emails that follow up and just explain it a little more in detail and help you stay on track with those 6 simple steps. So if you want to do that, that's here. One thing I haven't talked about yet, like I just got back from Vegas, right? June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I'm going to be in Virginia at Hampton Roads Convention Center for another women's event. Sorry, guys, because I really want to get out there and talk to people and help people start to feel better. The last event I was at, it was amazing. Seeing people that were walking through in pain, edema, whatever, be able to stop by and get answers for their health and understand why they'd been sick for so many years and their doctors hadn't helped them. Like I was about to lose my voice, but it's the most fulfilling day I could imagine having. Um, so yeah. Okay, so rocks, when you order, just make sure, I am trying to fix my email client today. You'll get emails from the company. I'll put my number in here for those that want to text me. How about that? Um, and hope I don't get in trouble by the gods that be here in TikTok land. Um, so there, you guys can just get a hold of me there. Um, I will text you, I will call you, I will request that when your stuff comes in, you let me know so I can walk through it with you. And then you get to text me every day if you want. I just request text first because sometimes I'm on the phone or on live a lot. And so I may not be able to answer your phone. I don't want you to feel like I'm not addressing you, but text me and I will get back to you. So, and let's get you feeling healthy again. And I want to hear your story. Like, you know what? Jason has been such a rock star. I just put it in right above where you just put the don't see it. That's my number right there. Yeah. So when you feel better, you guys, this is we're gonna go off the rails a little bit, okay? One thing I like to tell people to do is whether you think it's related or not, just like sit down and go through everything that you're suffering with. Like from the skin tags to the skin discoloration. I don't care if it's bad breath and bleeding gums and your eyesight's bad and your hair's falling out and you got hair in weird spots and you got hair in the wrong, no hair in the other spots. You got aches and pains and all that, write it all down. Oh, maybe they blocked it. Maybe they blocked it. Here, let's do it this way. Give me just 1 second and I will find a better way to put that up for you guys while I'm talking. If I can talk and work at the same time, Lord only knows if that can happen. But you guys write all of it down, please. I don't care whether you buy from me or whether you buy from somebody else. Write down everything that's bothering you because our mind plays tricks on us, right? So when we start feeling better, we're like, oh, dude, did I ever really feel bad? I know I get that way too. Like, I feel so much better. Sometimes I have to go back to my list and be like, oh, yeah, this is what I felt like 2 years ago. I don't want to be there again. So, all right, you guys, here you go. Um, can you see it now? have to trick the tickety talk. Okay, so that's where you want to text me. I do have WhatsApp. If you're not in the US, feel free to add me to WhatsApp. Let's chat. Okay. Got it? All right. So just gotta be outside the box sometimes. I'm good at being outside the box. All right. So yeah, just write it all down so you can understand. Because let me see if I can find my list, you guys, just to show you. Because I printed out. Do I have it sitting here? I have so many things, you guys, that are around me all the time. I don't have that one there. Is it over here? Nope, I need to put it there. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm going to find my list because I just want you to understand the power of writing this list because it's not as much for me as it is for you and making sure that you stay healthy. Okay. So when you feel better, your body's kind of like, yeah, maybe I never quite felt that way. Maybe it was all like a placebo effect. And so I can get away with not taking care of things like I should, right? So here we go, you guys. This is my little list. And I know I had it printed out, but it's just not on my desk for whatever reason because I'm crazy ass. All right. So this is some of it, right? Diabetes type 2, hypertension, hyperlipidemia. So high blood pressure, too many fats in my blood, chronic fatigue, which means I was tired all the damn time. And we're going to go over that. But chronic pain, osteoarthritis, edema, neuropathy, diabetic retinopathy. I was going blind. Alopecia, eosinophilic esophagitis, an allergy disorder that means that my esophagus would not open up correctly and I would choke all the time. Sleep apnea, allergies, anxiety, depression, brain fog, vertigo, periodontitis, menopause, bloating, knee replacement surgery, acanthosis nigricans or dark skin spots, melasma, skin tags, muscle cramps, Hashimoto's, PCOS, restless legs, gallstones, ADD, and we can add autism to that now, since that came into my field, which I'm okay with. But here's the thing. Now that I know and I have that list and I read through it every once in a while, as good as I feel now, and I feel like, okay, maybe I don't have to be as perfect. And then I remember 2 years ago, I couldn't kneel on the floor. 2 years ago, I couldn't walk up and down stairs. 2 years ago, I was waking up with leg cramps every morning. 2 years ago, I had these embarrassing skin tags cropping up everywhere. My eyesight was failing. My teeth wouldn't stop bleeding. My hair was falling out. Like I was falling apart. So when I look back at that list, I'm like, yep, nope. I'm doing what I need to do to take care of my body. And for me, this is it. This is every day. That's it. So whatever you do, like I don't want people staying focused on the negative. I just want you to remember how far you've come so that you can stay on track, right? What are you laughing at? What did I say now that was like, I'm such a dork? You guys just don't even know. Okay. Really? Yeah. So like, okay. So I've told the story a couple of times, but what people don't know is I used to have to take an elevator up and down the stairs. Like Stephanie will tell you when we would go places and I would face stairs and I'd be like, where's the elevator? And if I had to go up and down stairs, I was cranky, crabby, because I'm like, I better have handrails and I gotta like pull myself up because I was so much in pain, right? This last week when we were down in Vegas and there was a bunch of us women in one house, that was a mess, right? Can you imagine that? But I'm like, Steffi, come here. And she was like, what? And I like go running up the stairs without a handrail. And everybody's looking at me like, what was that about? And Stephanie's like, you guys don't know. She couldn't go up and down stairs 2 years ago. Like she just ran up the stairs with no handrail. Those are the kind of things you want to remember. Those are the kind of things like, am I skinny like Steffi? Nope. Am I still a full-figured woman? Absolutely. Am I okay with that because I have my health back? You damn well right I am. As long as I have my health, I can work on that weight and figure out the other things that are going on. This is not a weight loss system. This is a take your health back system. All right, guys, I love you all. I appreciate you. I'm so happy for those of you who've decided to start the system. Florida Cop, yes, you're always here, and I love that about you. We'll talk, and you guys, I'm going to go, actually, because I didn't sleep last night. I'm breaking one of my rules. So I'm going to go hop in a hot tub and listen to a podcast and hopefully wait till I fall asleep till I'm out of the tub. And then I've got meetings again all night. But I appreciate you guys all. And I appreciate you putting up with my craziness. And you guys light up my day. Yeah. Too bad I can't just take a bath at noon in the afternoon in the day, right? Just like sit in my big soaking tub with maybe some bubbles and candles. And I don't know. Should I listen to Bickman, Fung, Pradeep? Or should I listen to okay, or maybe I'll just play Among Us because my grandson got me to be a gamer at 59. Okay, you guys, I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Have an amazing day. Text me if you need answers, and let's talk and get you feeling healthy again. Denny's, text me. Let's get you going. And I just want to check in with you, okay? I'm going to work on that email client tonight and make sure I get a hold of you because that's important to me. And I'll send you a video too. All right. You guys have a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me again. And we'll see you tomorrow. Ooh, where am I at over here? I forget, you guys. I forget. I didn't mean to leave you, but I just forget. So we're going to shut this down. Thank you, everybody over here too. Now, before I hop off here, because I get so crazy with my chats and whatnot, you guys, I was just totally focused over there. Any questions before I hop off on this side? Okay. Those of you who didn't get it because you weren't on the TikTok, the Tickety Talk, which I get all crazy about, there's QR codes up here The QR code will get you to my website and my address, or can I type in the message? If you need to chat with me and figure all of this out because you're hopping on when I'm hopping off, I'm going to put my number in here. You can text me. I really do appreciate everybody who hangs out with me every day and listens to my craziness. So there you go. If you need to get a hold of me, please feel free to. I am the most non-stressed person in the world, and I just want people to get healthy. All right. Have a good day over here, guys.